Good evening. We're continuing to follow the impacts of yesterday's explosion at the 20th Park Apartments in downtown Bakersfield and the physical and mental impacts on the residents there. 23 ABC's Kristin Vartan joins us live at the scene of yesterday's explosion after speaking with the mayor and a mental health official, and has more. Kristin.
Keely, that explosion happened in a matter of seconds, but just like that gaping hole in the complex you see right behind me, the blast can have a lasting impact. Now, we still don't know what happened to those two people in the hospital with moderate to major injuries, but those who got out physically unscathed, they may have some anxiety or fear, and that's why a behavioral health official tells me it's so important during this time to have human-to-human contact. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Mark Bennett had just come home from the hospital following an extended procedure, and he had even gotten new furniture. As he sat down to watch television, the explosion on the second floor of his building, Park 20th Apartments, happened.
And it just picked me up and threw me across the room, the length of my apartment. And I really, at that point, I must have been unconscious or something.
Bennett says he lost everything in the place he called home for 7 years. And he's not alone. According to the Kern Housing Authority, 12 units were determined to be uninhabitable. Governor Gavin Newsom designated the 55-unit complex back in 2019 as housing for low-income families and veterans experiencing homelessness.
Many of the residents there, such as our veterans, have already gone through trauma. And a tragedy like this can trigger PTSD. So it's so important for us to be able to provide them that emotional support and to help them understand that we are there for them. Kern County cares. Kern County always unites in situations like this.
Bakersfield Mayor Karen Go says the city sprang into action immediately, sending fire and police to the scene Thursday afternoon. Other community members doing their part, handing out food and water for displaced residents. Mayor Go then reached out to Kern Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. That's when 4 members of their disaster response team, including Fernanda Ramirez, headed to 20th Street to provide that support.
We try to distract some kiddos that were there, just asking them what they like to do. Obviously, we know kiddos like snacks, so we let them rummage through the bags, see what they would want to eat, to kind of distract them because, everybody, what's going on? Are we affected? The risk of, am I going to be homeless? Those types of things. And so that way they don't have to carry that burden and allow us to provide that support and distraction.
Ramirez and her team checking in with 10 residents on site, also providing contacts and resources to cope with any arising fears or anxiety. Ramirez adds KBHRS is in contact with the manager of the building, and they're hoping to provide those affected with a debrief once some time has passed. She points to this grounding technique to deal with such symptoms.
We're outside right now, so I would be asking you, can you tell me what colors you see outside? And then, what noises do you hear outside? And that kind of distracts you and helps you stay in your true moment.
Ramirez says it's important not to overlook the mental health effects of traumatic events like these. Now, we did reach out to the Bakersfield Fire Department as well as PG&E, the two agencies currently investigating this incident. City Fire had no update for us, while PG&E did not get back to us by news time. We also spoke to Mayor Karen Go, and she did tell me that the Kern Housing Authority is working with partnering agencies to get necessary items to residents in need during this time. And of course, coming up in our 6 p.m. news hour, we're going to talk more to Kern BHRS about the necessary things you can do in a crisis. Live in downtown Bakersfield, Kristin Vartan, 23 ABC News, connecting you.